listen, Ghana forming a commission and now say establishing a commission, a template. BBN will be from Abba. The report, whatever that came out from Brazil 2012, and that report, I told it true.
I'm sorry. Use your white paper.
About your white paper, I told it true, Ghana. Okay? I told it true. Yantifi. And leading to that, Nastilan F, in my view, was not too bad. And as a country, Yabema Yahoo Kwai foolishly. As a country, Yabema Yahoo Kwai foolishly. Emma a certain ANAS'S episode, which we so-called claimed, say, na regime was involved in this and that. Yes, sir, even the FA president or chairman or whoever you call him at that time. Nesebia, wakoye emfumso bi babia. Papa, se blata wunya problem. Oni ni team. American for invade Switzerland.
Yeah.
Etimi be investigate womu. Ayo madwin say omo chichi bikura o United States near there. The Switzerland turned the heat back on America. Say it was in the first place illegal for FBI to come and operate on the Switzerland. Without even informing our authorities, and for that matter, whatever investigation, bogus, we don't care, we will not honor it. We will not deal with it. Omo for omo team the deal. Anamebwa. But she said ANAS'S issued by journalists mostly. I'm vindicated. Now go for National Theatre a grant interview. At that time, me and maybe one or two people who were strong on air, telling the public, say, we are rather building that stupid consensus against our own country, and it will affect the country in the future. Meaning, say, as people will say, ANAS'S is heading towards FIFA. I was the first person to say, they don't know what they are talking about. Mr. Kokuba, with all due respect, Malik, they can be HISA. ANAS'S is FIFA. FIFA does not respond to an individual, anybody. I'm a German trained. I know Switzerland extremely well. The Swiss laws are there. And the Swiss laws, part of it, and it goes into the FIFA because that is the host of the FIFA. So you can't do an organization on that land without certain thing. They don't respond. They are not answerable to any private investigator. Na Ghana for ye day, and then ANAS'S a grant interview. Na yen call for grant interview. At the end of the day, yenya ne damage because Ghana was seen as one of the FIFA's cash cow on the continent of Africa. Ghana was seen as one of FIFA's baby on the continent of Africa. FIFA, any Vatican, any Holy See, they make money, so they expect countries who don't make it scano. They protect them.
Yeah.
FIFA guy giving everything. Say FIFA Ghana and Malawi or what? FIFA will not put their bet on Malawi for the sake of beautiful game. No. FIFA Guinea-Bissau and Ghana. FIFA will say no to Guinea-Bissau. Yes, you can play a game, fair game, play and go. But then we know Ghana because the cash cow. That is how they look at it. Now man for Kasa na fi Chroma journalists and say look, one, o damage moi. Yene ye force ye near church letters and you better certain the interim management committee. I said it was needed exercise. Just only to build against the one that we feel good or bad. Certain Kosinyantechi. Say no one Nyakrana. He was one of our own. Until we could have toned down your poison because the world was listening. Now you can say internet Ghana for Kosinyantechi name became this all over. Say ye kwasi ade as a nation, and ye selfishness as a nation, and ye jealousy pattern of a life. Time a Kosinyantechi baby no executive member or executive member of the FIFA, executive member, and then also a ranking deputy CAF president. Abraham him say, your friend is saying, this guy, Madagascar no only just 2 years, no Okopeni president. Kosinyantechi would have easily been the CAF president. Easily. And when Brazil 2014 organized World Cup, the contractors, are you getting me? The contractors, now laborers in Sao Paulo, Emma poor shoddy job. Concrete eko bugu nipa so. Emma nipa be 14 Wubakai.
Yes.
Brazilian journalists and a British journalist, one Scott, one in the team. and in-depth investigation about the Brazil FA. Church and Yama say 1 year to the tournament and farmer ho. Na Brazil for scam G no.
Yeah.
Politicians need this cano. Contractors are not paid. Workers are not paid. Omo built a solid case. 2014, before this ANAS'S issue. At the call FIFA. Guess what FIFA told them? Omo title documenting Dancing with the Ghost. That was the name of the document. Dancing with the Ghost. Brazil FA Dancing with the Ghost. That's the title of the document. FIFA GN say, look here. FIFA is not answerable to any private investigator. Investigation that is Brazilian government's issue to investigate. FIFA does not respond anything to a private investigator. And the Samu will be big tra. Monfanko ye book. Niamfanko to international airports will be a draw or readibi. Niahudia Brazil, yeah. That's what you were instructed. So at that time, when journalists, I'm sorry once again, uninformed journalists in this country, sitting behind the console, calling themselves sports journalists, good number of them were all blasting left, right, and center, pushing, some even writing to their friends at FIFA, telling them their versions of the story. At the end of the day, Mekai Natese manifest and said, the Ghana government, a Ghana football could do ye, destroy no, destroy Kosinyantechi. No referee on earth. Obedi Ghana junior baby. JSS for kwa match. Border on international. Obetwama Ghana. Munkobusa Kotoko Omukom international campaign. Munkobusa Adriana. Munkobusa Chelsea. Munkobusa House of Folk. First, Kotoko Obabo matcha. Oma Babeshi Kumasi. Ebeshi Accra Sports Stadium. Yadwa Tina Bassman. Yadwa Tina play. That's what the Ghana hospitality will be hosting. Host teams and I say the opponent. No opponents in crack referees in Ebano. It is our duty to do that.
Yeah.
Toko. Referees in Uko back Romano, Omo Koi Kumasi Crano, Situ Hotel Crana, Oma a host woman, Oma Sumunda. A car kotoko de fa crado macon sumum for. Yahudia Kotoko sports to do more matches on the international campaigns. Yahudia referees here has of folk. Natural blaster matches, your qualifying matches. Shall the referees abeye wukumha? Shall the referees aye outside? Or in the good name say if one of your own man and a corrupt chair Hayatu.
Is a Hayatu.
Who was corrupt more than him? And yet 29 years now old man no CAF president. 29 years. And Akwesi Ntechi happened to be one among them. Papa ne tipon and said he wouldn't hesitate to replace him. Mumsa Ghana for 29 years and I had to declare. The time, no, if not anything at all, Krana, his symbolic figure of what your friend is saying, Hayatu, no, Cameroon, etimiko eje a year twice of 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Because said, referee bia na ukwako di match in the Cameroon. Who shall say CAF president in the Cameroonian? Plus minus in 20 muni team, no. Because at the end of the day, no, he has the power also to sanction who to go to a match or who not to. And this help us we in the good books of the CAF.
Yeah.
That's office over Kosisi Cameroon. We could have enjoyed that smooth ride. And yet they are destroying. And where Blaster is now, we've not been able to build up. And not only Blaster, the whole country, all the clubs, ultimately build it in a post-ANAS'S episode. The number 12. It destroyed the whole football. It took Ghana, say, 2 years, 3 years, nobody was on the field. It took years and a league, started. They started league in a certain COVID also came. Should they go through? National Ghanaian players are outside. National say, why are you team put up team? Why are technical teams sent team put up team? Because a certain fiber of the Ghanaian soccer had been destroyed. And I'm not in doubt. Say you're a good team, but in a real fact, say it is a fact that we are struggling. And the referee obedi Ghana Nigeria match. I've even not bothered to know. Or a Senegalese referee on the Ghana and fine. Or a Malian referee, they put the Ghana Guinea Mali aside. The Malian referee be dealing with Ghana. South African referee be obedi Ghana match be or dealing with Ghana. There are a lot of referees on the continent. a omo person go Ghana at the club level and the national level. We know. Because referee nkwa no munya bi ni. Because what the guy say okromo jeje bribe. Why na see football yenje bribe? Why na see football yenje bribe? 2005. I stand to be corrected, but I think it is very right. Our Tunisia, AFCON, at that time, now omo cheche Singaporean bettors. No more cheche Singaporean bettors. And the soccer bets. I am sponsor of CAF, AFCON matches. Soccer bet or you sponsor of FIFA. Watch I will say a betting game. Why did you go Kofi? Who just go home? Do you understand the phrase? Nobody takes what is called go to the house. It ends up there after the jubilation.
Yeah.
Nobody chairman said, Cap Ben and a country we are celebrating 1 year in the entire history of mankind. Said FIFA, a FIFA World Cup, Brazil a World Cup, I just 7 times. You know. Now 1 day, but the cup was or celebrating. It's bullshit. In football, the moment the results, it's a match activity, results oriented. Yeah, we are. Halas. It is a would Jimmy, the Abayo Bia winning, we are winning. Asa, as the focus a team. Yeah, man, see your power. A certain St. George, I was then with the management. Secret in him.
Yeah, show me 4-0 first half now.
Yes. What do you mean? Yeah, you call St. George. Yeah, of course, one more overcall. But my quiet talk for us, I know how to cook. Yeah, call St. George. Our Ethiopia this.
Yeah.
Young crowd management members in the DH. Monko bisa a near Ibunti. Monko bisa Frank Nelson and Co. Ya crowd no. Ensuom de Mayano. Ye team for almost circus and call omo a VIP launch for yen. What team for 1 now? Ujaho. Oh, team 2-9. What bread? Match in a Cowboy St. George. 1 player. The name's heart and the spirit wouldn't move. Only 11 players, St. George, a boy. And I'm referring to Dankwi. Your players sitting now were flats. Otumrika, man, come in at the form. Omin at the form. Dankwi and knew the whole team. A boss, I'm matching on the shire form. Do you get it? Okay, Yati, and Yashi. See in Africa for Africa, I'm going to say somehow. Oh, my, they don't call Boasia. Oh, and see, I dem Oma, or so, and see my no mere. Wouldn't see me and you. And then about him say amongst you. Ya host to African country, African culture. Ya amongst you, whom you mean, you. Omo bomb crumbs you on the buy. Okay, Yati. They had a Ghanaian player, Kumuji. No, so can on see dear ye. Yabasha has. Obasha has a cosa. Diamudi. What you said. So this is football. At the end of the day, no. Calf is a punish you. You suspend 2 years. Of course, here, Bobo. Maybe about Chrome, the wash him 4-0. What by us here? First half 2. That be fair 2 goals there. Yeah, was you mobium. Once a quarter on S, I am mobium, they are called. What you said. This is what is football. Whatever beautiful, fine, foul means, good means. How the bear when the match in you know. You declare winner, Mapa, Asa.
Yam Raffy. Eddie, you're born our politics, Eddie Becca.
Why not?
Of course, robot from politics. After 2020 elections, I who said a year is 137 apiece. A lot of Ghanaians were happy. Happy for the fact that for the first time, you need a party or overwhelming majority in parliament.
So you can call it a
hang parliament.
Yes.
Now, we were happy also that this time around, it wouldn't be one political party cutting through my ideals, my bills, my proposals. There will be consensus building. There will be compromises here and there. But that image that we had in our head is not what we're experiencing in our parliament as we speak. What do you think?
Okay.
Is the issue?
The first issue is that it is very clear, sir, you need experienced politicians in the country as we thought we had.
We don't have experienced
Not at all.
Oh, but we have people.
I said we don't have experienced politicians as we thought.
Mr. Wahab, we have people who've been in parliament for over 20 years.
You can be in parliament
who've
for
been in politics for over 20 years, 30 years. People who've been with the NPP since it was established in 1992, 1993, and up as we speak now, they are still within the NPP. Can't we call them experienced politicians?
They are not experienced politicians.
Wow.
Okay. Being in parliament is a constitutional requirement or mandate. Because whether we like it or not, are your constituencies. So whichever way, somebody will emerge as a constituency or a MP. Free Hoba. That in this respect does not make him or her an experienced politician. Being in parliament for 20 years does not make you necessarily say we are an experienced politician. Let me just tell you clear. Experienced politician will do things and you will know, say, this is an experienced politician working. How does experienced politician work? A very bad political decision. Okay? By politicians who think they are experiencing. It can only generate elections, winning elections. But a very good political decision, it impacts a nation. A good political decision, it impacts a nation. And my country, a prosper. And my country, to me, arresting and unemployment. And my country, infrastructure. That is good political decision. But a bad political decision can only impact election results. And then your politicians, who experience their decision only impacts the next election results. They are not experienced politicians. If we are experienced politicians and you have given the fact that the one among the first 5 best countries in the world in terms of resources. In terms of resources, one of the fifth best naturally endowed commercial volume resources share assassination. Nasa osistelano ubabobusia. Now our parliament and our politicians and our can celebrated politicians.
Oh, they are celebrated politicians.
And now can share say experience.
That's and by virtue of the fact that they've been within the system
and celebrated. Yes, we're the parliament 20 years. They are saying you're all celebrating. I'm quoting you. Celebrated politicians. Papa, I hope you know, and your history master told you Ghana and your independence in 1957. And I hope you know, Ghana and your republic in 1960. And I hope you understand what is meant or what is the meaning of when Ghana had a republic. You had a republic because as at 1960, not this president of the country was not Queen Mother. I hope you understand that. You can have an independence from the British protectorate area at the time, British Mao independence. But not all the countries in a British Mao independence, and no more fully republic.
Yeah.
I hope you understand me.
Yes.
Till today, as we speak, Jamaica on your republic.
Yes.
The head of state of Jamaica is the Queen Mother. I hope you're aware.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And a lot of the islands that I know.
All the islands, the Caribbean, the Pacific, and then those will be a British for Queen Yinano. Mikrom Vanuatu, Prince Charles, on the president. On the Queen Mother now, Queen, you are the man about on the president. Oh. But would dear, after 3 years after your independence in a normal republic, what does it mean? Say, constitutional guidelines in an order to have a fair bino. Obey a republican, which me HNU BBR. Which me modify, which me sound near ma. Now, from 1960 build up to today. I enjoy all the time, no majority parliament. Sebi, experienced politicians at the time from that time to today. And menya and Isuadi Hubi, Vision be, and Fanto. Say, look, parliament here, Debiano. You enjoy smooth ride using the majority, no. A baby bedua, a beer, parliament in Mubabe check, a bay equal strength, a day any a day to her. And in your friend, the unwritten laws of the parliament. Do you get it? Unwritten laws of the parliament.
As a parliament, the bra, yentro,
yentre, any parliamentary standing orders. But these are unwritten laws. Because English no cry now or no year parliament no. Parliament from Iceland in the 1890 1790 centuries no 17th century. Omo cry hunu nyansa say no dabi. Omo person better idea say party bia wene na president be form government na omo ye minority. Into omo antouch ho. But modifications over the years no problems in started say ba no. Enom so ke si yentimi mfa nhye parliamentary constitutional books ni mu kra na. Yan fe nkra bibi se bibi se koba eden ye beye. Australia when you say issue be several times. Your friend hang parliament. Na mu studio ha. That time say munu afrifa na wa ha. And I can say any parliament be ebetima ye adwuma sesa Ghana for abrabo a that should be the parliament of 2020 where we have just only a slim margin and that's equally divided into na meme independent candidate na. This was the words I used. I would have been the decider of Ghana and make this parliament work without going to any side and stay in the middle. Now on pull the intestines and then the experience now can happen. And the politics in the stomach of the Ghanaian politician. And they are so-called acquired skills in parliament now. Winning parliamentary orders are now we experienced politicians. No, when you experienced politicians. Because over the years, Ghanaian politicians, you fine-tune your constitution. Over the years, Ghanaian politicians have not sat down and said, and then a parliament to encrypt and make sure that we hold the neck of the government that comes in place, regardless of which government that comes. And for that matter, this government must stay tuned to the national agenda. Who has to enact that law? Who has to establish that law? That law must be enacted and established by nobody else than the constitutional legislators, called the parliament. But because, only experienced politicians, counting from even the Fourth Republic, 8th government is His Excellency and now the government winning. And then modifications, let's go and bring from my good friend, the Speaker of Parliament. No munko famrania metre say, o matima ye unwritten rules be the ho. Sase koba se parliament mu ko che ya. E kwan be se ne be fa so. Na papa, o a country a ho chiro. O a country a wo so harness natural resources. We a country a wo so koko kura no, wo de ontimi nya ho hwe. Yes, wontimi nya koko no hwe meti ase, but producing more na ton. Ton Robins no is also another way of making money. And fa bibia anka producing more. Adding value, broni bia no be more adding value. On my bossy and never add value. Never turn chocolate man. On ye. And you don't add value. Simple econometrics. What I say. Into the man coho. Se bodia na who produce atoya. Yane raw and fan chips. Now so turn more. Produce more. Assassin more. Cotton. Na se parliament abeti ase say ye the experience ya ne say Mr. Speaker na government mi be gina ho president ba state of the state nations address so na no abeka se ma ban ma ya ade metima koji loan 2 billion me the basis your country na kwai. Are you crazy? You must be crazy. What parliament tolerates that kind of things? Which parliament? And one the bia no parliament or the government in power or the opposition, whichever way, no, or no did yet, or gratify ni loan our kwaji. Nearby and semano on Sona, State of the Nations address. Ya baba na baso. Se metima kwaji loan 40 billion. And I'm saying because say MPP wa ye NDC wa ye no double. MPP wa ye no double. Ma bobo sia. Me nyesika, me baba ye yamransa yankransa ekwai. Yeah. Not experienced politician, no more. In any case, there is no country on the continent of Africa, and predominantly the 90 countries of the ACP, the African Caribbean Pacific countries. Country beyond one, the parliament, all lawyers check Ghana.
Hey,
they say, the 80 countries of the ACP, African Caribbean Pacific, country beyond one parliament, or what lawyers chair Ghana, who were 275, out of whom no lawyers bear about 145. Should that be a parliament? We need interpretation. Should that be a parliament? I feel no one who said Supreme Court no bear laws. I'm a parliament, and indeed it is so. Why would you go to Supreme Court for interpretation of your own laws? Why enact it? Watch now say I'm on call deputy speaker or Timmy vote. And the Muslim say it is not. So what provide you on what position and what establishment say this is a serious parliament. I draw government to adopt what is called national agenda. Yama government at says won't me ma enko see hospital enko ji loan wanwie na wesuba nso akoji nsika akobobo si akosi hospital nso wanwie wesuba because there is a certain book called the party manifesto and obi use to run the country. Is there a parliament that you call them they are serious and they experience? Is there a parliament? I mean sure. There were minority governments and your majority government. Minority government is the one, the government in power no, or short numbers, our parliament, even though they are in government. And the majority government is the one, or what numbers on the side, our your friends in the parliament. It could be Congress, it could be upper house, it could be House of Commons, it could be Senate, whichever country that you take it up. India, the biggest democracy in terms of parliamentary numbers, over 6, its own number 800. 1996 to 1998, 2 years, they had a hung parliament. What happened? The hung parliament led them to change 2 prime ministers within 2000. Two parliaments, almost changed 2 prime ministers. And a man 1998, even though not running, they have to go into general elections because a certain hung parliament was working against the government in power. Bibi Netanyahu of Israel, Ehud Barak of Israel, Ishak Rabin of Israel, hung parliament, a hanging the government saying how many times? Netanyahu hanging and say, Ehud Barak 2 times. Obe sorry be free ni fie where prime minister obedu no anya prime minister okofi as a floor member. No akotenasi. That is when a good politician, experienced politician, you talk, you move, you walk. Consensus, lobbying. Bring your agenda and convince me. Is that what we do in Ghana Parliament? We have never ever dreamt send your babenya this situation. Now they have forgotten say we're dealing with human beings and human institutions. Obiba yare. 136 130 pom kofa se bi obi a wawu niamfa ne nsantom printe den ne ana ba ko be yare inti adwasafo ani ho na you see the problem. So Speaker of Parliament or ko ba bia a serious parliament has got nothing to do with the speaker say wa metna ho a o nipa wa yare ne so ama, that is okay, but the parliament business, the government business, it should not affect the Ghanaian and it should not affect the nation. One bill I'm a country, no, now Bob yourself. 1 bill. Majority. 1 bill. Yawa Oseche Mensa Bunsu. I mentioned today names because I'm very blanket today. Now, what your experience said they are he is the parliamentary minister and he's the leader of the party in terms of our parliament. Majority leader. Papa, in situations like this, you reach out to the moderate MP, NDC. Who are the moderate ones? Okujatos, they are hardliners. Yes, I give it to them. Ome preaching my party. He's not in the Vatican, not working in the Holy See. Or Haiti, and an economy, and say, or shed the government, the spending of the helicopter charter and in Niama. Or no susu a hardliner, or establishing who say, may fight for my party. Sam George, or hardliner. Was a man, LGTB, what plus kill, why declare home. Kwashiga wa declare no. But what take you woman? Any if you quit those and yes, why they are playing politics, they have to defend their party in parliament. That is very okay. I give it to them. We are talking about politics. We are not dealing with human emotions. In politics, no emotions. You understand? Now, but there were seemingly good number of NDC people. The cabinet column so moderate. Until Bill Kwana man and Kosono. reach out to them. Sit them down. That is when that is what an experienced politician operates. But you have to what must say. That is what experienced politician operates. Nanya de omu ya now onu opposition frustrate you. NDC onu ya counter election results kwa no ye press conference. Onu nim press conference ye. Now no frustrate you government business. Now musumu du omachi. Ya ntiase eyomu pamumpo ye besan. For God's sake, is e-levy the only bill in Ghana? Now mama one bill are frustrated ama government in about you say food. Because they are playing politics with you. And you don't have an answer to that politics. So it has become a fight among your own members. What have you done with the 137 members? Are you trying to tell me, any experienced politician with MPP is trying to tell me that 137 and NDC, any moderate ones? Some come in woman amoyede. Sesika no mo ko chadia, om no mom this kalma womu. Bajotie. Coach me. Sesika eno mo chadia. Om ni members of this kalma womu. And the South person was pushing agenda of your bill. You should equally know the people that you lure them into your side. That is politics. Best politician, best president in the world, in my view, President Clinton. President Clinton operated minority government because he was shot out in the Congress of the Democrats. Or by short to Senate, the second term, out in the Congress. Or scaling over impeachment. Bajwatiana. Or scaling over impeachment. President your friend said Clinton. A certain David Cameron. Obey 2010. Now or your day. Now a minority conservative government. What do you have to do? Reach out to them. Tony Blair, best president, a prime minister. No short the time, Labour, our parliament. He was able to control the conservative House of Commons. Because you reach out to them, go down. Now, mama dear, your numbers, anyway, say, any info win cockle, any way license, any way step put down. It will not solve the problem today. It will not, because you've not gotten the answers to resolve, to deal with your position. Who is bent? Do you think so? I can't lose because we are playing politics. At the end of the day, two governments in Lobia and Somba Juma. Obian so buy a loan or kwaji. And to me, Lobia and Yajuma. And to play politics to frustrate you, why not? They should do it. Now, a certain party, our opposition, the General Secretary, Honorable Esiedun Ketia, who can call his members and command them and tell them what to do in Parliament. You, of course, yes, if you say we pope, honestly, person or bad power. Good, serious government, our experienced politicians. I said, you can tell the contemporaries in the mates, BBA, the Parliament. If not anything at all, His Excellency the President, when you said you can tell Parliament. What do you need to do? A country also who experienced politicians, sir. You call a Sedu. Omani Ebre policy ni. Say near Pessia. Ma bine juman and cosa, no crown in casa, and no nuamon casa, and no man in casa. Go down and reach out. That is what politics is about. Lobby with him. Now, rather no, as you do by deliver a speech and a press conference. Omo country 2020 no press conference. We are not numbers no. Omsi assassin. No. Ono be ebe mass speech or radio. Hey, so go for number. Ombeba. How so mba to me? You get a point? No, master. Who opposition or no to opposition? Who had the mantle to run the country for 4 years? You've done 4 years, you have another 4 years. Now opposition or no yano the press conference. Now Mosumaya day, Mosuma the press conference. Further and better particulars. Are we serious? No. The government business must not affect the Ghanaian citizen. The government business must not affect them. And then at the Ben Ghana parliamentarians better say, Yediania who bibi. Abaning yam fa ho. When mrawe dia young parliamentarians in Yasha Samran, yam Prince Adiwi. Is there any e-levy or country airport COVID test, COVID scanom jijin? E-levy bichesa. Tell me any e-levy on earth the airport business no one. Because some year COVID test or Ghana. Na me do Kenya. Me fan baga me call. Che me pie no ma ye wo ho. Me fa me bag do American my COVID wo ha, me fa bag a me ko. Me do German am fa bag a me ko. Sabi minim nyansa, Ghana for nim nyansa ncha Americans, nim nyansa ncha Canadians. Utia wa ha say 100. 50 watua. Okwa wa yama okọ. O ba na otua du Ghana ni asabejo. Until within a minute, within 3 hours, sometimes 2 hours flight, sometimes only 1 hour from Lagos to Accra, only 1 hour, 30 minutes, 45 minutes flight. Now, what testing negative? Udu Accra until wait my positive. And I saw be a flight in positive. Now more Jane $150. Any e-levy benefits. Me decided say momo say between me be the minimum year. But the bemo be akwe. Benti man tia momo mean tia e-levy. My send momo submitting baby. Now where dear? Say me too quiet me po e-levy. Is there any e-levy more than that? Is there any money more than that? I know the parliament in Fahon because the umbe chop room in chop. The umbe di no nyina obi adi. Don't they travel? Parliamentarians go 275 no. Is that how they treat them when they go to other countries? Is that what they treat them? South Africa, when they no health facilities. Ghana ni ban or so 2 hard say or yet COVID test or do Johannesburg or say or airport. Yeah, they are the everyone knows. Tell OPA. Now compare the entire African continent. Country buying a foreigner baha and the COVID test a year $150. Knowing very well, say, well, nationals in your foreign passport. E-levy bitches are. Tell me the e-levy, which is more than that. Ministry of Health votes canon. Debbie. A Ghana government can Debbie. Identity na private company on e-levy no better than who Momo will be send 1 cedi 20 pesos and no here. 20 pesos here or a chain $150. There's no experienced politician who come here.
And what are they then?
We say they are representatives.
They are just mere representatives.
They are represented with all due respect of their community. I don't call even of their constituency because their constituency in here no parliament no. Wo a wo pa parliament. Wo pa parliament aba. Wo ni o mo tie krase ho. Wo ka twi, wo ka gbron, wo ka dagbani, wo ka ga. Mutim kwa akọ wo mfufuo nyina de ma wo mu. Wo pa parliament aba. Wo nya dru parliament a wo ko okruma so nti twi biem. Wo nti bibia biem. Because Ghanaian politician biana onukwa ye engineer, a professional background. Onu ye obia ko parliamenta ade akya no register or gempa or person ye lawyer. A country ben ye was such lawyers. Fabulous learned men and women. Muntimi interpret small laws. Country ben na wuntimi ye national agenda say parliament this year ye the one good year ebe establishing national agenda. President Bia Bebebiano, you are not going left, you are not going right. President Papa, Nigeria for president, we are comfortable to my yibi. You know why? Obiatin was to say me your Basanjo. Why your farms is on a young cocoa poultry farm. Our Nigeria, say a crocodile farm. And to me president Nigeria and my door phone and beton cocoa dear. I could be anywhere where free country be or Bebe Krumha. Why ye am a successful Nigerian farmers, poultry farmers, Omania J. Nikosia Nyaneka. Do you get it? A certain Buhari, Onini Nyamo, El Kaduna, Nukrom, Kasina, Ominina Yen Buhari in Nanchi kwa by 50,000. In Chabada no Obama Kwama de a cow leg at the Abakrum ho. IBB Babangida, Oni Abdul Salam. About 3 president Mina, Niger State, Omgo, Obiadomo. No attract now the rice aba. It is a Buhari, Omkacha Buhari. We protect your car leg, no. Also, I'm protecting more. Now, Jaquamia de Munga. Shall Nigeria rice and no mean porto. Now, the far rice, if you be now, the corner so man from Roma. What you croma cook up by? Because a certain president here farms. Governance and yes, science rocket science. And then yeah, what is written template? No, a wisdom and application of common sense. Because there's no school in this world that you see a first school is a school of presidents. What to be that? See a school of engineers.
Yeah,
your school of lawyers.
Yeah,
your school of accountants.
Yeah.
What is school of presidents that? So there is no profession that is called president. You don't go to school to become a president. A bypass. Obi nchirame politician bi ancham say was school a president. Ka wan no de ne ba be come agree school.
Obi abeso an ba na go school of president, in the school of vice president. Obi am person the ba ko.
And to become a president of a country is a byproduct of a certain education. It's a byproduct of a certain your friend is saying system be. And you need school of president. It's presidential. To be a president, you don't have to have extra requisite knowledge, but you need to have extra common sense.
Extra common sense.
Common sense and application of the gifted wisdom. Farmer, bet my president. Now, yeah, they are me at here once to say, so once you a certain brofo, and one can a certain grammar, and one can a certain school. Wumma, now crown to me, you are non cassa, into practice elitism or parliamentar. Does that make you an experienced parliamentarian? Experienced parliamentarian, Ben, the WH judgment debt. Experienced parliamentarians, who I will say you were experienced parliamentarians, and I'm it's by virtue of constitutional requirement. Said the assemblies, the community, the constituency must provide. It does not mean that the Nipan Edenman is intelligent more than the people who voted them into power. The whole country is run by 2,000 people, not more. And to those 2,000 people, are they trying to tell us, only intelligent more than 30 million Ghanaians? The answer is completely no. But then it is because parliamentarians only as 175, 375, 275. Yeah. Sorry. Cover presidency. Never cabinet, Faber Kahun. Never council of state, never Kahun. Never the judiciary, yet the Supreme Court, limited up to even appeal court, never win in Abe Kahun. Now check holistically entire country. Nipa saying, now up to 2,500. There is a statistics. No more than 2,500. Chief executive near that is part. It's not a part. It's not part. They can the core rulers, shakers, movers of the country. And no more than 2,000. Are you telling me say 2,000? Oh, me nyansa change Debbie. But because yen team for 30 million presidents, and yen team for 20 million presidents, and yen team for 5 presidents at a time. Because countries almost 5 presidents at a time. 1 president, 7 vice president, Congo, and Communas, homes have a show Munum Kabila, them obey on popular, not tribal settings in Hanon. Or send the major tribes in 5, and no 4 million vice president, you know at a time, no more 5 vice president, and was a same one dear. So, we don't need that. But we are saying they do baby policy advocates, people who pushes and move a country. They are not part of the political platform. They are not part of the political colors. Minority government, once again. Sergio Berlusconi, Italian Prime Minister. Oh, Cromfoche will be a. Neniati is Italian politician. Non-Sukran Italian politician will be a one school papa. Every time Obeko government biano or no say on majority in parliament. Berlusconi never liked his own party to be the majority government. Now, reach out. I want to know, show the skills and pull them out to vote. And his opposition for any year they die. Monko for signing. And the time Italians can say no, Obuye or Cromfo you say no. Omo confer the moderate liberal Romano Prodi. Prodi one time crowd went to me. Yeah. Saying I am fast be Cromfo and San Fanimra. The Coco European Union no bule which is so-called uneducated, inexperienced politics. Now, Berlusconi to me handle woman. In the idea, no him. We need national agenda. Politician bien will be doing a can say, he live bien or chair airports can general. Politician bien can want some. Munam sum to quine. Would do American far bag coffee? Would do Germany far bag coffee? Would mean your law say your country nationals now could ya bontin more? Omako school more. Enti yanya law so obekrom ha okra foreign passport kwa umewuram ɛno na Turkey dia bɛyɛ Turkey wɔyɛ mu yɛ nkwa ɛwɔ Germany udu Berlin no code na paper form Kreuzberg na paper form ma ɛna ɔmayɛ what Turkey is who experience them one my Turkish nationals say wo wukura German passport wo ba Turkey German for say da bia ma nwura correct ni om say ate ose mun kama nuntum mo de mo nye ye be ya ma mo fansie ye na ye airport ye na control na airport uduro na you passport German immigration down ho in Turkey ni bia won krom passport sa hye ni botom si ye be search ni German ye be china ne papa the passport be gina airport or the German de nduro no de Turkey egwam. Do you get it? That is what is called wisdom, common sense. Edwin, and what they are building the country. And then so be also take. And I'm a boy. Singapore, on your republic, at the time of independence, when independence free British, only the OG free a country, I have friend in Malaysia. What Tima be building the crew, I check Malaysia no man independence. Singapore. 1965 onuniji independent 57 ye nuniji 57 no 65 ansa no oja singa se monko otuo mu chiri se baby because no feel say omunkowu a certain liquid news turn around etimi be build a country man be the model of neatness in the world and one of the best consistent economy nation in the world, cleanness in the world, environmental free in the world. And so a country in the man independence. Na yanka Ghana parliament. Na yansha time independent 57. Ni yansha country be to say Kenya mo independent 1960. Na obia was we Ghanaian parliament to we Nairobi da. Na a certain Kwame Nkrumah a certain Kenyatta. Na because say Nkrumah ye bi kwa na se oyem from so kwa na obi ma betwa so man betwa so den na mo de beka ne de ho na mo hwe de Kenya for de atwa Kenyatta ho na kwa hwe kuro no na hwe infrastructure na hwe development wono ne ka e de aba obi ti ha. I'm sorry, Minister of Finance, you can't go to Parliament and talk about Ukraine and Russia.
Oh, are they?
You must make money out of Ukraine and Russia war. That is how a serious nation operates. Papa, Kenya is saying na mango asa, the mango juice. We're a bigger exporter of mango juice. We're a bigger exporter of orange juice. Or export tea. Or export food stuff. Or ye bibia the comabro from. Or say export flowers, common flowers.
Yeah.
Look at petty things. On gin gold home, on gin oil home, and on gin diamond home, on gin timber home. Utilities, commodities, consumable commodities. And then Ukraine and Russia oil juice company ben oil juice. Ni juice asa. Or produce juice massively asa. Into oje hard currency. Into obi tokano nanka wo bro ne ko. Obi kono nanka wo nsuo common nsuo no what they call kata wo nsuo. Saudi Arabia wo nsuo. Kuwait wo nsuo. Emirates wo nsuo. Oto nsuo avian from France.
Yeah.
Unsuo group krom ha say no. Ya we mpem fon kan aduane aba me atugu. Nsuo esa hwie bitugu.
Happy 90 for that FM. No, the venerable Farouk Al Wahab, or your international diplomatic relations consultant. On a minute,
young ministers of agriculture say, Ghana kwa obi bu nsuo one full bucket. Oba kwa small boy.
No, the
what the fruits one pen yari what one bucket full. Enye nsuo no hwegu. Kwa you can coffee nsuo one bucket full of fruits. Enti nsuo na bua me ahwegu. Yenya a certain government to know say if you're talking about economically viable product, you don't talk about gold, you don't talk about diamond. Water is much even easier because on daily basis, Ghana for saying on daily basis, Ghana for saying and I told you street so. Ghana for saying and I told Ankadi. It is how your government now won't you now water bodies where see awake, where see how best do you use your Ministry of Trade? Say, Papa, Ghana for na special eyes. Ghana for na awake. Ghana for na an. Ghana for na daily water. Yamfa monko Saudi Arabia ho. Na monko fighting na monpe market massa products.
Na monko the entire Gulf region.
Gulf region. Na monko to nsuo ni bi. The entire Gulf, Yemen, Arab, Bahrain, obia ni nsuo. Na hoso ne tu oil kese. Oil no Iraq nya reggae no so no nyina no. Nsuo enom dio. Omi import nsuo de ko oil reggae no so. And yet Ghana oil rig takrade. Eye sabi Nigeria ni na supply nsuo reggae no so. Nsuo a ye use no reggae no so no. Enya Ghana ni na supply. Eye Nigeria ni na supply nsuo oil reggae no so. Anya wa Ghana ni ewa ha onim se de si laundries ntade afi ye de share machine ye de ne da bi Vietnam, Bangladeshi, Nepalese, South Korean ono na laundries ewa sakrade oil rig. Also we experienced politician really seriously we local content ewa sakrade oil rig makohwe omo ye adwuma ho o wa shama diver or diver or Cape Coast, or diver or Greater Accra, or divers, or your friend is saying, Volta region, 4 regions, Omina coastal line, Obi Jari 2,000 the whole day, 1,000 meters, 2,000 meters, or Kwachi or Kotobako. Oh, assume, or the Nena paddle. Near comfort Brazilian divers and South African divers, or you $1,000 an hour. Parliament, Ominimana. We experience parliamentarian, we experience politician. Is that how you? Sign our experienced politician. A South African, or Baba or Sebrabe dive from Ghana, Shama, normal $1,000 an hour. Into Omukonom condemns you and say, no, my bed, the oxygen, no, fish, diagro, Obe Piena $12,000 or the ajo. Local content. Abra electricians, a good Cape Coast will be asking money $2,000 a month, keke. Non-function Abusiana Brown Honto. 1 year, we experience politicians. So what is the Ghana Parliament doing? Namoku. Yamen fan burning cham. Say Ghana Parliament omu bubo omu kra. Meno omu talk on by na me for some cash me can say me nyabi kwa besa akoshe. Because I'm sorry, they are detached from the reality. Both sides are detached from the reality.
Both the majority and the minority.
Because
Another
majority was majority
and the NDC.
Majority,
they are detached from the reality.
Yeah, because they've all been in government. NDC had been in the Fourth Republic 60 years. We so called 16 years. Until they are detached from the realities. 32 years, home in our match and pepe. His Excellency Nado, we a year. We 8 years. President Kufuor 8 years. 32. Jerry 8 years. And President Mills Mahama 8 years. 32. That is the Fourth Republic for the 8 governments. What is the reality? And yes, still motorway bakuna.
As you cry to do.
But you all their fans, and you're bakuna. And it's a crewman as well a mistake. You need a certain knowledge as we did. Yeah, say. Don't we have it? That common sense. Our city Accra. We free the inner city. We free main road to swap. You are certain Antioku. You are certain your friend is saying Bobodi.
Can't you could
yes, so individual excessive a diamond kakeno. Common street, we yamano, also nye. Common street, common light, common water, also nye. And comfort to a boy, say, polisher, Maldin say, your friend baby is Legon Hills, which of course, ahoy kupudia. What I said, and confession that to the AC dan papa ma ho. Road to craft factor one also one ye. Is Legon, abandon Benisio. Chairman government dies you. You are forced to build a road because say, and paying phobia quatro. And I say, Musro a certain heat. And to concentration where is Legon, our cantonments. O concentration, our your friend is saying airport. Airport near airport here near a Hong Kong Ghana. Look at the larger Dabraka. Look at the Accra area. Look at the Kolegono. Shall we beachfront from Tema up to a Dansuman. Papa, I want you a shitting paradise.
No credit there. Okay, 7 him.
That be woman cancer and I be no. They are cowards.
No grand cancer.
Ubish from the whole country from Tema to Dansuma a shit paradise. Which just a shit paradise. Namo Brunibi, or Austrian citizen. And the Bruni suit of only love and no follow. No better gave you a Dansuma glyph. If you are Timno, one Nigan and Nigan Timno, not toilet in you. The first time Bruni catch him said, I like to shit by the beach. I didn't know that it's such an enjoyable because you enjoy the breeze. Bruni.
Happy night for NFM. And then Friday, what I fear the venerable Farouk Al Wahab, international diplomatic consultant.
The parliamentarians in honorable, so honorable some Indians.
And yeah, the venerable honorable Farouk Al Wahab, or international diplomatic consultant. Or no, have any joke on my name.
One guy Jeffrey, a friend, and one honorable. Me fear you. And the good moment honorable. What can say?
So how do we change this?
It is the narration of the national agenda and throwing away the bogus party manifesto. It is as simple as that. Throw away the party bogus manifesto. It's somebody's dream. The Panicha manifesto no abo. The Panicha manifesto no ada. The Panicha manifesto no. Now agenda be a way to suit you. And they were able. And a manifesto as a party Nigerian is not a grand congress of the party. A certain the by 5 or 10 B. How do we even measure the mental state of that person and then his knowledge power in dealing with certain issues? What could China manifesto? A man acquire what 9 years, the books yet 15 kilos, acquire we are 27 kilos. 15 kilos.
And that books in year 27
kilos. In the Akra cadaverlos on one nam. Parliamentarian Ben Okroma work private schools or Ghana, including on one government school. Akosha say, you will feel the crime course of recreation will be diablo. You will feel them crying games also. You will feel them crying bubble also. Nanano, Cocohe, Kumasi will tell Biama. Omi Nina will be ako. Honorable, Wakoje VIP ticket acquaintance. Players no win the moment till new. Now, certain serious nations like America, the basketball team no, or don't free him, and your schools, and your colleges, or build
athletes
infrastructure,
free colleges.
Or don't call Olympics games or build it. Jamaica yebi, Japan ye, Germany ye. Now what were these talents they will chrome her? African Ukraine, African games crown, when you go to cram you do that. They are bobola, Namoma Famu MP, Namu de Abobom chest. Alan the Hodianum Komunkoku. Kwase Omuko Bibisa and Koya common there. They identify themselves as one. They identify themselves as one. Omko baby say, Omo pedat can say adoration near admire near adore womudia. Bonso mina. Yeah, honorable coffee, honorable in team. Honorable there's no more say tare goyi. Momu fru or mom drakra. Eh, Sanye Bamu. Parliamentarian bank and also a experienced politician. Party bank and also a experiencer. Momo di nipa, they said the Mukos mobile. 80 radio stations on propagated the agenda of the government policy. Who are you? Which party is that? Which kind of experience of politicians do we have? We are president, we are minister. Time of work, now to studio. Who can't they wabaye? Me am a team area and the minimum de abaye.
Baby, where the infrastructure and where the particular project is located.
Chairman Labour Party. Chairman Labour Party. Chairman Conservative Boris Johnson. The communicators are more conservative parties. UK Chairman Joe Biden, the communicators. The policy speaks for itself.
So you don't need the communicators to communicate. You don't need
a communicator. The communicator is the spokesperson of the sector who can speak on national policy issues. And your communicator to come and read. Toilets and the government see. Communicator to come and read. Market and the government see. Nipa no nidi ya onfa there na nkwashiti. Until building that toilet, man, not building for what? Let them build their own selves and let them go their own toilet. How they want it. You don't come and tell me, say, my building will say. party bay, government bay, which country outside Ghana, what building a certain cream of communicators, Esia and Tro, Esia no crack, as I combine the two. Equatorial Studio say, yeah, beka adie our government aye, for them better particulars. Which country does that? The policy must speak for itself, not an individual to come and speak. It is not the duty of any party to send their people to go and tell the public what the government is doing.
The policy must talk.
The policy must talk. The action is on the ground. The work is justified by itself.
Happy night, FM.
And algebra.
And they said parliament say and we don't have experience. They are representatives of a particular group of people.
Of course,
not even the entire constituency.
No, that's because the system to bring the parliamentarian from that constituency, a certain number of 80 executives in the year. And if they know, predominantly, our MPP captured zone, and I say NDC area. When him say the moment I want to 80 parliamentary, 80 executives, he has done the work for the constituency of 10,000 people. Do you call that one or representing constituency? Or representing a certain or a representative of a certain people? Do you get it? And I'm here explaining to you. Because the party chooses their parliamentarians through their party system, their electoral system, and the certain executive. And not the whole entire Bantuma constituency, and I say Adwaji constituency, and I say your friend is saying a Bukom constituency, and the whole constituency numbers. Because this is a country you don't have a referendum system.
And that the people would also have to vote.
So you know, so I'm talking about the zone, the area. It is noted, say, I say no, a dansumana, meaning say, of course, you're talking about the settlement areas, we know. You can't tell me, say, him say, Bantuma, a MPP for there. Winim say, Asukwa, a MPP for there. And also, Nim say, Keta, Winim say, Saton, a NDC for there. We all know. We don't need to say, Sebi or this. No. And to say, any panning your executives, it ain't normal. Why do the parties fight? NDC, okay, Kofodia. Okay, you share Frances.
Yeah.
Yes, Kobo Kopa de Bomameno at that time. Because a certain positions, because executives, they march and a certain control. Because when you're free hopper, you are at in government. And I say, what about parliament? Does that represent the constituency, the ideals, and the heart and the spirit of the whole entire constituency? Answer is virtually no. And I don't think that is not that is the way it is. And if this is how we gonna go as a country, now you enact it, establish it, and develop a certain national agenda. And that agenda must be the cause. And because MPP Naba, we don't have any fights. Okay? And this Naba, we don't have any fight. And I'm saying that if we have experienced parliamentarians, we have a hung parliament, whether we like it or not. Lobbying must go on. Government business must function. NDC must stop unnecessary politics, and MPP must also stop unnecessary arrogance. And all of them, you reach out. That is how a politics, and that is how politics is played. The direct impact, I say, Ghanaian politicians, government in power, refer to government because Minister of Finance Nekasa. Say, or Italy, no, I the politicians in our brothers. One of the direct impacts, or Holland, or Dutch government, where we the politicians and the decision makers. That will be a direct impact. So, or Germany, Berlin, okay, Bundestag, Bosnia, ebi only will be an entrance because Brofona concentrate on their own issue. If not any of them, tell me how many countries of the world are crying? The excesses of market, global market. Yes, because a certain superpower is fighting. It will have an impact. Now, no Russia now how far has it affected the Russians? And the Maka say, Kenya, this is the best time autumn the juice. This is the best time autumn the mango juice, asa. The orange juice, asa. Ukraine for no producer, no matter between manasa. Look at this. People don't understand world politics. Europeans, any NATO nuclear koki kan tokwa. Emma Zelensky, enya so hope. say omu ba NATO for beko, which I granted you or your colleague interview said there cannot be any NATO involvement as far as the fight is concerned. You remember? They cannot. Europeans, you know, ammunitions and arms now omu de kokoma Ukraine for no. Oma saji Ukraine for nsi their top vest. Now you can't get even a vest. Bulletproof. Unya been taught. Ukrainians are buying bulletproof. And don't forget, sir, it was a communist richest nation. Their money almost and part of it cleverly also to extort from them. But at the same time, what America, helicopters, you don't give, you give it to them. Somebody must stand behind the machine and use it. But where are the numbers? Give them the helicopter, who is flying the machine. Give them the MiG-25, who is flying it. Give them the J-22, who is flying it. Give them the S-37, who is flying it. Maybe what I say now. Enti ono Ukraine no kra na ono na nya ne ntokwa no. Ono kra abrofo na America no. Enti se wo so no wo krom ha. E na military on ye weapons to said Albania, Kosovo, Tirana, Macedonia, Moldova mo ye weapons na. Omo weapons no mo tama Ukraine. Because I will reserve that ho. And Antom Yunku. So tell me how you will benefit rather than now will be etimi gina okase. E mo boa ba be yedin. Obi astopu bankudi. Obi timkas Ukraine tokwanti e mo boa yedin. No am market woman say oil boa yedin because Ukraine oil ma. Sanyen tokwa we ne buy. How many people knew or do you know say the world Ukraine is one of the best and biggest exporter of oil, cooking oil. Now, all land in a darkumadan, why in a day? Tomatoes, why in a day? What have you done with Wenchi? What have you done with summer boy? Land in a down, why? You take advantage of a certain situation, and I've said, all those who came on air, I blasted them. Then a third world war. Are we crazy? There can never be any conventional third world war. Yes, there will be an economic and a war of also health. That is what they're brought for. You can't Ukraine, Russia, no? Papa, what the COVID assembly of you?
David.
Omicron in Fahin.
I am the Waira.
COVID in Fahin.
Waira.
How many countries in the world, including the UK, will abolish the nose masks? Until Nagan and Kwan and nose masks, yes, but you're quite your body. Ye differ in COVID in one room, which if we are no about. Nonsense. Because we are so stupid, say we can't use our mind. So a white man can always manipulate you. Me see, has any Western president of the world in view of this Russian conflict, what about COVID assembly? But prior to Russia issue, no medical they are better British for Manchester for any your friends say Queen Mother when you COVID be. Not the innocent and non come so the American. Sa COVID na Queen Mother nya away. Yet in what's in view. Birmingham Palace, COVID coho, Mammy Nenyabi. I know the different variant name Edeba, Efahimfa. You see the point? The point is that when we are practicing a lazy form of an economy and we have a certain pattern of economic system, say you better modify Maka. Say a country that is not prepared to create wealth, you will have no business to talk about international politics. You don't have any wealth. You don't have money. And the money is here. You are not making it. How come by say India ni biaba kromo nyeska? How come by say Lebanese ni biaba kromo nyeska? How come by say Turkish for of yesterday? The monies. How come by say a country of 30 million population, yenye cry and now I'm sorry to use the word, a Zamrama man, Buzu man, I said be crying, most of them need illiterates, or not take cow lane and will determine how your dollar should play in. Are you stupid? How does your dollar get out of hand? And we're talking about we having economic managers against your city weakening. Now what? $20,000 of every forest bureau in Ghana. Listen to me carefully. $20,000 from every forest bureau in Ghana. Now a dollar now get it. We see the now get it out of hands. What do you supposed to do? On daily basis, banks in Inaj, dollar from Bank of Ghana no matter how much for. Now so accelerated the price. No more determined. Now oma pushy. Now Ghanaian politicians ka oma wiano. Oma sa their $2. And then the simple common sense is that you could easily you could easily say at that time now dollar no aye week no we see deny week no for forest bureau be $20,000 man no man 3 months to return it. Are you listening? For be $20,000 now we have more than 15,000 forest bureaus in Ghana. For be $20,000 man plan and kabakwa ko $2. 3 months time one farmer was forfeiting the license and dollar issue would have been arrested. Where is the impact of the dollar? Pressure about on the it was needlessly unnecessary. It was unnecessary. One day you have an increment of 3 times a day. Not dollar near 3 times a day, not prices neighbor. 3 times. No, Carlin will determine the price. Who are Bank of Ghana and was coordinators. And telephone so. And you have to tell range cars or phone. Kwaku Forest Bureau, yes, we This is Bank of Ghana. How much? Let me know how much. Tell me your sales, your receipt book. Crazy. How much did you give to the person to market? Ghana ni ba no $40 on consumer me cop Forest Bureau me per black market with God is kaum. One receipt. Now what the office? Coordinators should go down on the ground to the Cowlin and ask them. Zamra mama they determine how much you should sell your dollar. Na Niger dollar ho. Niger dollar ho. Omo Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire dollar is stable by people. Kenyan shillings against dollar for 5 good years. 10,000 shillings to $100 up to now on 2 mobile. And this sign. And they been to intimacy because our certain wealth or certain flowers, our tongue, or certain production, or certain train, our Timidia intercity from Nairobi to Tanzania, or certain nyama or fish, and was improve what is called the tourism. Watching more good themselves when you basha abua. Nedi $2,000 na ko. What you say?
I don't think to me
because who abua no kwano. You know, your friends elephant to go abesa rena ka ho. Kogana kumasi zoo. Snakes nkura kom di omu. Snakes wo humpa aduane. Snakes kura kom di omu.
Nana ya champion jantwa TV ka. O snakes na funfun.
Apo o ma funfun o. Who lion na ne nyina atotomu.
Yeah na reho. Say who lion or da kumasi zoo a. Say cruelty to animals. Say nke kokochi zoo for near Ghana government ko bi no.
Say fa lion ohun a wo man nchen yo because come no ni.
Danye never na chen na nyefra. Abo na nyefra.
Sorry, attention na ni so.
No to hwe onim say di.
Lion no. Ko nante ne sorry.
Abra South Africa. Okay, Durban, Omzu no. On lion back or you dran back one day. Ya pejo dran near the man. Durban Zoo. On condemn her. One of them people. You see the point? So it is neither here nor there. Both parties have been in government, and like I'm saying, in the next 2 years, 16 years, 32 years, Momon saying, what is the standard practice called what is called national agenda, and what the parliament must make sure say you can't come and make your own laws. You can't come and collect money and do your own thing as you want it. But both of them, no, Obia are very effective, very efficient in opposition. When they come to government, hey, they forget about their rules and their own Omar standard practices. How does it work? How does it work?
So to get this from you,
yes.
The ECOWAS war, Russia and Ukraine.
Papa,
it
has nothing to do with your economy. Say countries take advantage of Ukraine. When there's a battle and there's a battlefield and there's a front, the front lines are fighting. Ukraine no produce mango juice. And they are buying mango juice.
They depend on imports.
They depend on imports. So what are you exporting to Ukraine for you to come and talk about? Say, Ukraine has a direct impact on Ghana. Stock exchange ben no krumha. Say stock exchange yo krumha. Broni ba na do ni sika ba be si krumha is kana edi value. Wo sika na da ho. Me pa choti ase. Wonu akobo bosia. And now and you see direct impact means you can't get the decision makers to go and borrow again. Why do we take advantage of everything? Say COVID nama AC. When I may say, and I'm not saying because of NDC, MPP. One time there was MDC would have done the same thing. Because of the global heat, economic recession by near to grow money day. Meanwhile, also saw your friend saying tomatoes go akuma dan apro.
Yankwa, about a year over 300 people are watching us on YouTube. Mame enkinka messages Nibia. Womo atro hano reparations or Farouk Al Wahab for president. Kramez upon no say KM the Mentiasio. Eugene Tenkranda or say ha Gambra NS, you will hold those that sold the land for building, but you are blaming government for not constructing the roads. That ideology, no, I don't Mentiasio, because look, the government is to help, to assist in making sure that among are living comfortably. Yes. The government is not able to do that. Then the individual, me, Makosi dying. All that I'm telling government to do is say, Abame Pacho, me here show kakra, me here light kakra, me kwan bejusu dia megusu kota.
Na dan process anka ban ne sima.
Kachen Côte d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso development agenda. When they started developing Ouagadougou, you dare not, or the land no, or demarcate one area, or construct road, or your utility. By your water. Now we are getting me and some what on land. Now I'm at phase 1. This road, a 2-story building. I had lower way at 3-story building. 2 years time no and do living. So wouldn't mean to relocate to the back. And until they had that of consistency. And what they build the Cocody. And what they build the Do Plateau. What they are building Abidjan everywhere. Do you get it? Treasury. Within 8 years. Even though I don't side with Alasan Ouattara, say why also why could the tower with a pen. But within 8 years, and then it's set na year all come. Paul your friend say bridges Hawaii. Bridges Hawaii. Cocoa d'Ivoire port. Na cocoa containers achoku. They don't even have a place that they can sell. Coffee achoku, banana achoku. What the other way?
And then high.
What's it?
And then high.
And ya broke it. Yapon.
Mr. Farouk Al Wahab, international